Listener warning. Everything about this podcast is offensive and often stupid. Live from Racine, Wisconsin. It's Wisconsin's most popular podcast with some guy off camera and a guy named Larry and some other things.
I'm another thing.
Other things.
Yep, and today we're with
Sam and Ducky.
And they're with
You guys.
And they're with Science.
The makers of Mini Beer Pong.
Yep, they make the Mini Beer Pong. And we're going to talk a little bit about Mini Beer Pong. Here, yeah, hold that up, will you? Thanks, Tom.
No problem. I gotta be good at something.
Guy off camera can do it.
Guy off camera, you hold it up. Okay. So,
G-grip.
all right. But before we actually talk about Mini Beer Pong.
No, wait.
What? Oh my God! It's time for Guys, Games, and Beer!
Yay!
Woo! Rob had a couple.
All right. We've been drinking a lot already. Okay. So, but actually, before it's time for Guys, Games, and Beer, before we talk to the guys from Mini Beer Pong, what's the show beer tonight, guys?
Delicious.
Wrath. It is Wrath. Okay. So, I think we've actually done their beer Lust before. There is a St. Francis brewery out of St. Francis, Wisconsin. And I'm sorry, guys, if you don't live in Wisconsin, you can't get their beers because I don't think it's available across the border at all. But
Suck it.
So come to Wisconsin.
and go to their brew pub. It's absolutely amazing. So tonight we're actually trying Wrath, which is their amber ale. And we actually are going to use it later for the sequence where we play against these gentlemen who invented this game.
Actually, it's probably going to be going on momentarily.
Oh, well, you might be watching us actually drinking it in the
Depends
meantime.
on the editing.
But let's try it and see if it's any good.
All right.
All right.
Oh, that is a good amber ale.
I do love my amber ales.
See, I've
Damn.
never tasted this before, and
You know, it's pretty weedy. But
Really?
I
It
think
kind
so.
of tastes like defeat.
Oh.
So you're saying you felt the wrath.
Hey, you know what? Way to give away the store.
Yeah, really, man. But no, I think it's okay for an amber ale. You know me, I don't like overly hoppy things. If I want a meal, I'll order a meal. If I want a beer, I'll order a beer. I don't want my beer tasting like a freaking meal.
See, I'm a little surprised you say that you like this thing because I get a bit of a meal in this.
You do?
At least a
It's
snack.
Yeah.
At least a
I
snack.
get a snack out of this.
So it's okay then.
Yeah, I think it's good. All right, gentlemen, show of thumbs.
yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up.
Well, Larry's kind of in between on that one. All right.
So Larry's wrong. Good to know.
Yeah. All right.
Never
so
wrong.
let's get back to who our guests are again.
We're talking to the folks from Mini Beer Pong. You guys can hear us still, right? Yeah, we've had some sound problems, so if there's a little bit of sound problem, sorry about that. The listening audience, viewing audience probably doesn't care.
So, the game is Mini Beer Pong, which is a really cool concept. What they've done is they've taken the usual mess of playing beer pong and shrunk it down to this cool little kit that you can carry pretty much to any place you go. Hell, with us, we'll carry it any place we go anyways.
Yeah, like we do with everything else.
Pretty much so. And have done some amazing bits of engineering. I'm going to give the website out right away so people know where to look as we're talking about this. So as we're talking about this, if you go to minibeerpong.com, you can get the whole storyline on this particular game. And gentlemen, so why Mini Beer Pong?
Why not? Oh, sorry.
I didn't ask you, I asked Bill.
Oh.
Sam?
We're passionate inventors and also beer drinkers, so we kind of morphed both of them into a game that we could come up with, basically. I think we were sitting in a bar when we came up with it, so. And it's, it's relaxing, you just sit down, you don't really have to stand up, which makes it a lot more convenient because intense game of actual beer pong.
Standing might be hard.
One day and kind of it dawned on us, we thought like, what if we could play beer pong while we were sitting here because we saw the board games on the shelf, and we're just like, maybe we can make beer pong a board game. So
we kind of try to take some of that creativity and apply it to the game of beer pong. And so, like you guys said, I mean, you can take it with you anywhere. We've added the catapults because with the miniature game, it's easier to launch the ball with your finger. And we've tethered the balls to the center of the table, so if you miss, you don't have to go chasing them on the floor. Because if you've ever played
I like that.
before, that's kind of a pain, and it takes up a lot of time. And then you get dirt and hair and other kind of gross stuff on the balls. Those end up in your drink, and it just kind of turns into some hygienic disaster that like you'd rather just leave in college or at some sort of bad decision point in your life. So we kind of try to take that same spirit and make it something that you can enjoy in a little bit more sophisticated or just convenient setting.
The tethering was a good idea.
Yes.
It really helps a lot.
I really like the way it kind of looks like a kid's game. It reminds me of all those games I used to play when I was a kid. You know, like my parents would come back with something from like up north, and they'd be like, "Hey, check this out! You can blow into this thing, and the little ball goes up in the air." It reminds me of that. I love that about it. Is that designed on purpose?
Yeah, we got a lot of like mini games, like we play a lot of Mario Party and stuff. So we kind of like the mini game vibe of things,
and we also like you mentioned I don't know if you guys ever played like Pop and Shot basketball as a kid. Use a launcher to shoot a ball into the cup. Kind of a similar concept, you see those kind of arcade style things. So there was definitely some inspiration there when we came up with this concept for sure.
When I was talking to the guys earlier, and you guys might not be old enough for this, but there was a game called White Shadow, and it had that spring sort of catapult kind of thing for the shooting it in a basket, and it kind of reminded me of that.
Oh, right on. Yeah, it's definitely a familiar concept. I mean, it's surprising that with how popular beer pong is, we've seen games where people have shrunk beer pong down, like made a miniature game table for it that you could play, in kind of like any setting. It folds up, the cups go inside. Great, but it was still like you were throwing little ping pong balls into little cups that were like a foot away from you. There's not really any challenge there. So as you guys, have experience from playing, it's a little bit of a different animal when you're using this launcher and kind of working from that angle instead of, being Kobe Bryant and sinking ping pong balls from long distance. So we think that kind of adds a lot of a fun element to it, a nostalgic element too.
Yeah, there's actually kind of a lot of mechanics to that where you're like, measuring the tension and lining things up, and and if your catapult's a little off kilter, it's gonna go off kilter, So there's a little more happening there than you might expect on the surface.
Yeah, you probably think you can just walk up to it and slap the catapult and the ball go right in the cup, but it's not quite so straightforward. It takes a little more strategy.
Also reminds me of crossbows and catapults.
Dude, it's like worms with beer.
What? I thought of that too. Yeah.
What I was thinking is, there's obviously, like we said, a lot of inspiration coming from a lot of different things, like from just all sorts of different games as kids and stuff. But it's such a beautifully simple concept. It's like, how did no one think of this before? Like they said, people have shrunk it down, but it's like, you look at it, it's like, that's perfect.
Yeah, no, tethering. Okay, so I have to ask, so you mentioned that, adding the catapults, adding the tethered balls. On your initial concepts, did you not have the tethered balls? Did you not have the catapults?
We had those really early on in the game. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't have been something we would have gone forward to if those weren't envisioned from the get-go.
We had nets at first. I remember we thought about nets in the back instead of tethered balls, and then we used a bunch of different strings we try to use, the string ended up being the best fit.
Yeah, believe me, it's gone through a bunch of different iterations from what you guys see now. We started out just with a piece of wood that we probably didn't even buy. We probably like found in our garage somewhere and started like hacking holes at it with a drill press, and you know, it's come a long way from there. But it's something, and we feel like we finally got it pretty close to perfected. But yeah, like you guys said, there's a lot of little elements to pay attention to make it work right and keep the spirit alive. So yeah, it's definitely something that surprisingly took a good amount of concerted effort.
No, you can tell that too, because one thing I like about just looking at it is the fact that it's not individual holes that are cut out. It's an open design, which is something simple, but when you think about it, if it was the individual holes, that'd make it a hell of a lot more annoying to clean and things like that.
Yeah, no, having it open like that does make it easier for
Yeah.
cleaning. When we started recording, and people will see it in the background as we're talking about the show, they're going to see that you have a wall full of prototypes that you made with all the different versions, by the looks of it, of when you were working out the layout, I take it?
Yeah, well, those are kind of just some of the boards that didn't quite pass the quality inspection protocol, are really stringent quality control protocols here. So we just kind of use them as decorative elements instead. But yeah, we've got like in our shop, a whole bunch of different versions of different stages and iterations of that design. So yeah, it's definitely been a process. And the hole pattern too is something we've definitely iterated on, and weirdly enough, we threw a patent on it because in the beer pong world, you know, there are a lot of people that are trying to tweak little elements of it and make beer pong racks and stuff, and we just kind of came up with this design that the reason that the holes are kind of overlaid as you see them now, originally was just to allow for like a bunch of different re-rack options, so you didn't just have to have them in one fixed position, but you could have them like more or less overlapping or in kind of in between spots from the normal 10-cup rack, which like to the avid beer pong player, like if they can't get there, you know, like the rack that they're able to pick apart, it kind of throws your game off. So we definitely play enough pong where we have those preferences and can understand like that appreciation and stuff.
So, how long has this product been available on the open market now?
2 years. We have this classic kind of the travel version that folds up, and then we also have wooden. It's just a flat wooden version that we offer, and then we actually do custom engravings too.
Yeah, we originally started with the wooden version. Just we started kind of out of once we had the idea, we started working out of like the community maker space. It's kind of like a shop that you pay for a membership and you get access to a bunch of tools, people that teach you how to use them. So just starting out with this flat piece of wood and cutting a shape out of it was a lot easier way for us to kind of like manifest the concept than to go, you know, sink ourselves into you know, tens of $1,000 mold.
So were you guys members of the makerspace before you came up with this idea, or did you join a makerspace afterwards?
We actually joined it after, and then it shut down like a year into our prototyping, and then we founded one with 6 or 7 other people that kind of had similar interests, doing like a small business or inventor.
So we've got a couple of really good maker spaces in our area. There's a really great one up in Madison and a really good one in Milwaukee too.
What is that?
Okay, so let me explain to one of the other people on the show here what a maker space is. So basically, a bunch of guys go together. You'll buy a lot of very high-end equipment that you normally couldn't use on your own.
Or it's not even just necessarily high-end.
Right.
It's just they have a wide variety that most people generally
You
wouldn't
can't
be
have it in a home
able to afford.
shop.
Yeah.
So you'll have metal lathes and wood lathes, and you'll have CNC machines and possibly laser cutters, and all, again, depending on the size of the space and the number of members. And it's a big space. They rent a building usually, or they rent a shop, and they basically build a shop, and everybody goes in there and you can work on projects anytime you want as a member of that space.
So you get used to those machines.
Correct.
These are really big in like a lot of big cities due to pricing for space and things like that.
Yeah, you can't.
Well, and you don't always need certain kinds of equipment.
And if you live in an apartment, where do you put all your stuff? So these guys again, now have started their own makerspace, which is cool as heck. And I love the idea of doing business development along with the makerspace. Instead of just using a makerspace to make, steampunk models or whatever, they're taking it to the next. They're taking it to the next level.
Hey, there's nothing
totally
wrong
valid.
with a steampunk model.
Okay, I wasn't picking on the steampunk people, okay?
Tom, pick on steampunk, please.
Thank you, all right? But I'm just saying.
They were our last demographic.
I'm just saying these guys are using a makerspace for what I see a makerspace being useful for. Business development. It's not a business incubator where you're trying to develop a business. What it is a place where if you have an idea, you can use it. So you join that, but
obviously you're full market now. Do you use any other like crowdsourcing or anything else in the process?
So actually, where we're at now, we still take advantage of the makerspace to do prototyping, design, and some small manufacturing aspects for some of our product versions. But we actually we've grown a lot. We distribute through Amazon, and we have like a couple other retail partners that we've worked with, and we're actually have kind of growing. Our goal is to kind of grow distribution of the game and kind of get it into a lot of people's hands. So we've actually partnered with a company that is going to produce the game at mass and distribute it in some big outlets, like some big department stores, towards the end of the year. So that's a good opportunity for us to kind of just get exposure, get a lot of people introduced to the game, and develop subsequent games, more products, grow the business, and keep the creative flow moving along. So there's some exciting stuff kind of going on throughout the rest of the year.
Have bars expressed an interest? I know in bars around us, we have like board games in them, so that people can play a game and.
Well, some of them do beer pong stuff too.
That's
this
what I
would
was
be so much nicer.
One of the things I want to bring up is you mentioned that you have this travel version, you have the black version that you do custom engravings. Have you thought of doing like a heavy duty version specifically to market to people that want permanent installations, possibly like bars?
Actually, since you mentioned that, I've done
we made one version that's 4 feet by 2 feet, and the actual ball is like an inch in diameter, maybe a little more, and it's like solid wood. And this was like way long. This was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and we have just like these giant launchers with these giant balls.
That's awesome.
And these things are like killer balls. You miss and don't hit the cup, and you hit someone, you're gonna like knock them unconscious.
Nice! Just a ball bearing it
They're
there.
kind of early on, so I think we should like look into that, and maybe like the balls shouldn't be so massive. But
It all went horribly wrong when we used glass for the glasses.
Yeah. Quick one for you. So, who's doing your manufacturing? Do you, I take it you guys part that out to some company. So, what kind of quantities do you have to order as far as your manufacturing goes?
Well, so for manufacturing, we actually do so for one of our kind of like high-end wooden version is actually manufactured in the same building we're in right now. We have partnered with a couple other small businesses and shops in the building to complete that whole process. The travel version is made here in the Twin Cities too, and we get those, I don't know, like a couple thousand at a time, and then when we get kind of this overseas version, we'll have to increase quantities beyond then, multiple thousands, tens of thousands, kind of a range. So
Is it U.S. made then?
Yes, it's just made.
Opportunities that have materialized
It's on the box, isn't it?
that might are kind of requiring us to scale up. So it kind of I don't know. We're kind of experiencing a transition right now and trying to brace for things on a bigger scale than we're used to. So I don't know. Hopefully, everything materializes, and we have to upgrade our facility to more square footage and hire more people and deal with more volume. So
Yeah, but for our listeners and watchers, right now this is a made in Minneapolis product, but even a bigger reason to buy it. I didn't realize you guys were having it manufactured right there locally. That's really cool.
We gotta bring up something else too. I saw your guys' website. You guys donate 5% of your proceeds to Engineers Without Borders. That is super cool.
Well, you didn't mention this, Ben.
I mentioned it in the email to Sam.
Yeah, but not to me.
I don't need to mention everything.
That's really
to you.
awesome, man.
That is very cool. Gentlemen, let's talk a little bit about Engineers Without Borders.
oh yeah, it's something that we're trying to promote kind of like some sort of philanthropic initiative. I mean, despite the irony that might seem with like inventing the drinking game, kind of the broader goal of the business is to try to have more community engagement, give back, and I think Engineers Without Borders is doing some great things like trying to create sustainable living situations for people around the globe, whether it's creating like water collection facilities or more efficient ways to cook for yourself, things like that. I mean, just introducing technologies to people in developing nations that allow them to help themselves in the future is probably like the most effective way a dollar can be spent, and kind of getting students involved in that, as they're going through their educational process, kind of like instills that sort of priority in their lives. So we think it's a cool thing, and we'd like to keep supporting different organizations as much as we can as we grow, and hopefully be more directly involved ourselves as our time gets freed up. But hopefully we'll get to that threshold at some point.
That is very cool. Very cool idea, actually. And I'm familiar with the organization, so even better yet. So for our listeners and viewers, not only is this made in America, made in hyperlocal Minnesota, but 5% is going to a very good cause. So even before they get mass marketed, you might want to think about going to their website and buying yourself a copy of this very cool game. Go ahead, Larry.
You know what I found interesting playing it?
What?
Or what I dawned on? You can play a lot of games before you're effed up.
Okay. Well, that too. All right.
That's why you switched to liquor.
Because they're little glasses.
Yeah, but what if you're doing real shots? Okay.
No, you're
so
not. You're not good at it.
now comes the question. Now I know it is mini beer pong, but have people played mini shot pong yet? I'm gonna bet yes.
We dabbled.
Dabble means every night.
10 shots of tequila is kind of a lot to take in the span of like 20 minutes. So
That's why you can't lose.
you're kind of asking for a pretty rambunctious evening if you turn it up to that level. But believe me, it's with 1 ounce cups that resemble shot glasses. It's pretty much you're pretty enticed to go to that level.
Pro tip, stick with beer.
Yeah, pro tip. Yeah,
Wisconsin tip, shots.
Oh.
They probably sell a lot of them in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm betting yes. So, all right, gentlemen, any other questions for our guests?
I didn't ask how much it costs.
Well, you probably should ask how much it costs.
What is the price of one of these?
So for our travel version, it's $39.99, and then for the deluxe version, you're looking at $79.99. Again, both versions are made right here in Minnesota, so supporting small business, local entrepreneurs, small manufacturing, and like you guys said, some good community initiatives as well.
And absolutely no children got whipped. in the
Which
construction.
version? We have the standard version?
The travel
This
version.
is the
The
travel
travel
version.
Okay, so I want to make one comment on the travel version. I'm old, okay? I got old fingers. Has anybody else said that? That latch is like horrendous. I mean, I understand you don't want it to pop open on the road, but holy crap,
Keeps it tight, huh?
it keeps it really tight.
I struggled just setting it up.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, it's there's definitely been a couple issues with the tool we made and some of our design flaws, but we adjusted the latch, so I think we finally honed it on a pretty good, like, I think our next match will be pretty perfect, so.
Oh, we got the shitty match.
We'll replace it, don't you worry.
Now everything tucks right into.
Yeah. So when they say travel version, literally,
Right
and again, I love what you did with the anchoring for the ball system. The way that when the board folds. Yeah. Hold on. Let me show people
Why not
this.
show the audience?
I'm going to show my audience what we're doing here. So what happens with this
Folding
is
balls.
the fold. There's a little inset here, and the piece literally locks in place when the board is extended out. And that way it just pulls right out. There's no snapping it in or anything like that. It comes out with no problem. You can put it in the travel edition, and away you go. Everything packs right into the actual system itself. It's got all these little holders right inside of it to put all your parts in. You put all your parts inside, close it up, and you can take it on the road with you.
And
Oh, I'm sorry. Shoot.
I want to note also that it's not the brittle plastic.
Oh, no,
It's not
no.
the
Did you
brittle
notice that? No, no,
Yeah,
no.
It's takes some abuse plastic too. Even that's probably why you're having such a hard time with the handle. It is not like a.
Oh, no,
it's
no,
not-
yeah, that's, yeah.
It's not a little piece of nothing hanging off. Of
No, no,
It
it's like a
actually
serious
literally-
clip
it
on
actually
that thing.
Yeah, it's got a serious clip. Yeah, it is a son of a.
I told you, man. So yeah, you are.
It's not coming off.
No, no, it's really, the construction is really, really good.
Also, if you look at the rubber feet, they're actually inserted into the unit as opposed to being glued on, so they don't come off.
I was
I do
surprised.
reviews on a lot of.
I was kinda-
electronics.
Yeah, wait,
That
Ben.
kind of
I'm just
thing
gonna
is-
say, Ben,
I was
you don't
kinda
get anything to
surprised
do with
it
that.
had
Oh, are
speed
you
at all.
shitting me? I've been rubber beer before.
Oh, okay. But that was actually a good idea too. You're right. So Ben was just complaining about having to put the rubber feet in.
No,
but
I wasn't. I
No,
said
you were
thank
saying thank you. Yes. But the nice thing is by putting the feet in like that, they don't just pop off. They're going to stay with the system.
Yeah, it's
so
actually-
the
it's
construction,
actually- it's decent plastic.
the construction on this thing is amazing. You guys really, we cannot
It's a
say
bit,
enough about it.
Tackle box plastic. It's
Yeah.
not like tackle box.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's very,
Yeah.
very similar to the clear, like the crafters or
So
tackle
for our
boxes.
fisherman listeners,
Yeah, right.
Or people from.
And the hinging and everything is really, really solid on this.
and our miniature listeners, not that we already offended them,
Yeah, we've offended pretty much everybody in our audience at least once.
Wait, we have an audience?
Not anymore. We've offended them all. All right, so
not the Brazilians.
gentlemen, one more time. What I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you give out your website one more time for us.
MiniBeerPong.com.
All right, and people can find out more about your product there. They can actually order it there. Is it available anywhere else?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, the best place to get our travel version is on our website at minibeerpong.com, both versions as well, with the wooden version. And later in the year, towards Q4, you can look for it in Target and other fine retailers.
Just
Yeah,
in time
Target
for
eat
the
that up.
holidays.
Yeah, this one for the holidays. This one is going to be a big seller.
I believe
no.
it's sold in the toy section. Oh, maybe.
No, maybe not in the toy section, but I'm going to bet
It
you.
goes directly before it's in Target, so you'll be cool. Otherwise, once it's in Target, everyone will have it. It's not going to be as cool, right?
That's true. We are cool now because we actually have it before it hit Target.
Hipster spread.
In fact, we're gonna walk over to Target and say, "Hey, I had it first, guys."
Yeah, yeah. All right, so
All right, so wrapping it up. Thank
They
you very much
never
for
had
watching.
anything cool
Yeah.
when we worked there.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Well, they had us.
Well, that's right.
Hey, when were you guys cool?
all right, so let's take it out, Rob.
Tyler, that's it. No hand jobs for you, buddy.
That's
Those
it.
blowjobs, alright!
Thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. Don't forget, you can check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. If you are a Twitterer, you can do it at Guys, Games, Beer. Don't forget, there's no and on that. On Facebook, www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. Today's guest will, of course, be linked up on our Facebook site.
And
when
our
this
webpage.
video comes out, and on our webpage. So if you want to get yourself a copy, you can go check out their website, and I'm absolutely sure they'll let you order it off of there. You don't need to wait for Target, right?
Nah.
Hell no.
All right. Also, Big shout out to, I totally lost my show notes. Damn it. Damn show notes. Damn you show notes. Next week we've got Joe Ernest coming on the show. He's got an arcade cabinet. He did a actually it's a Kickstarter in progress right now. It's pretty cool. It's actually
I have questions.
I know you do.
When he gets on the
When
show.
doesn't he? Should we continue?
It's a racing cabinet. You can see pictures of that on our Facebook. Also, you're going to be able to see some pictures of Facebook of beer pong on Facebook as well, because we're of course going to post pictures, as well as if you are watching the video version of this, you've already seen it. But if you're listening to the audio version, make sure to watch the video version. Holy crap, did I drink quite a bit today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching and listening to the...
Where are we going to be in 2 weeks? Not in 2 weeks, a week and a half.
Dang it!
Yeah, where are we going
I
to be?
keep getting through the promos. 2 weeks from now, we are going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. We got a room down in the basement. Yes, that's right, where we lived throughout high school. It's a basement. But the good news for you guys is, yes, it's a little bit further down, but it's a much larger room they gave us this year. Same kind of shenanigans, great stuff, VR gear, old retro systems, stuff you've never seen before at an MGC is going to be there. So check them out at www.midwestgamingclassic.com. Thanks for talking right in the middle of the promo there, Larry. Have a good one. See you guys next week.
Bye!